Welcome to the 9Health Fair video on how to facilitate an effective meeting. We are going to start with some things to do, some guidelines on what to do before your meeting. First of all, of course, you'll need to identify a meeting location, a date, and a time for your meeting, and also send out an invitation to all of those you're going to be inviting to the meeting. You might want to do that maybe about 3 to 4 weeks before the actual meeting date. Then you'll start thinking about your agenda and getting that put together. Before you start the agenda, it will be helpful for you to define the purpose of your meeting, and then also define the desired outcomes of what you want people to take away or to do after the meeting. That helps you to get your agenda items in place for that meeting. And then also think about the people that you want involved in presenting agenda items and discussion. As a facilitator, you might want a co-facilitator so that you won't have to be presenting every topic. And that really helps. And there are you might identify some experts that really know about certain topics that you will have on your agenda, and invite them to be a part of that presentation. It makes it fun, it makes it interactive, and this is really what these 9Health Fair meetings and planning meetings, or whatever they are, it really helps to make them fun and interactive as you are planning your 9Health Fair. So when you have all of your agenda items in place, and you have identified your purpose, your outcome, and sent out that invitation about 1 week prior to the meeting, you want to send out a reminder to everybody of the time, location, and date of that meeting. And you want to also get in place your copies of agenda and some other things to take with you to the location to start your meeting. Now it's the day of your meeting, and a week ago you have sent a reminder out to everybody, and you would have let them know to arrive at the meeting about a half an hour to 15 minutes before your start time. So for example, your meeting time starts at 6. You want people to start arriving about 5:30 or 5:45. The most important thing is to start your meeting on time. And regardless if there are a few people who straggle in a little bit later, or you were expecting some people there at a certain time and they're not there yet, it's still important to go ahead and start that meeting on time. We want to respect everybody's time and schedule. So present the purpose that you have clarified and of the meeting, and also the desired outcomes. Share that with the group. And make sure you can start with things like, the purpose of this meeting is to unify our site leadership team, to communicate important details about your fair. You can also say something like, during this meeting we will, and you can state what you're going to do throughout the rest of the meeting. And then also provide your desired outcomes. And you can state something such as, by the end of this meeting, we will have, and then an idea would be, we will have shared ideas about solving some of the issues that have come up, and asking questions that will help us meet our deadlines and stay on task. So it's important to do that, and really make sure that everybody understands the purpose, the desired outcomes, and that everybody agrees on those. This really just creates a buy-in and an investment in everybody who is at the meeting. Then you want to review the agenda, and also check if everybody agrees and would like to add anything to the agenda. And at that point, it's great if people want to add something to the agenda. You as a facilitator can determine whether that idea can be integrated within what you already have on the agenda, or if you want to create a parking lot or an issues list and put it on there, and just make sure everybody understands that, and then proceed. also important at the beginning of the meeting is to set up meeting norms. If you want to keep it really casual and invite people to ask questions whenever they have a question, you can do that, but let everybody know that that's okay. Or if you want questions saved for a certain time, you can certainly make that a norm. Also norms is that anybody who's talking has the floor, no interruptions. That's another example of a norm. And then maybe some other people have some other ideas. And let people also have a say in what the norm should be for that meeting. So having that purpose and communicating the outcomes, making sure everybody understands what's going to happen over the next hour to an hour and a half, and setting up those norms. And also, most importantly, is having everything, your audiovisual equipment set up before, a few minutes before the meeting, and make sure there's enough tables and chairs and agenda. Everybody has an agenda. That's going to help make the rest of your meeting nice and smooth. Now, during the meeting, the important thing as a facilitator is to listen to what is being said. That is listening to what different presenters are presenting, what kinds of questions are being asked, because what you want to do is to be able to, every so often, summarize what has been presented. And that way, those points continuously get across throughout the meeting. And then, if necessary, you want to ask questions and maybe add statements that will broaden and deepen those conversations and clarify anything that needs to be clarified. And then also check with the group, too, to make sure that everybody is understanding what's being presented, if there are any questions, as time allows. And then make sure that agreements and any action items that are brought up are recorded. That is, what is the action, who will do it, by when, and what support is needed to carry out that action. And also remember, this is important for facilitators to remember, is that you as a facilitator don't need to have all of the answers. It's okay to put any questions that you might not know the answer to, put them back to the group and let people share ideas, let people let you know what they think. That's always a great way to allow the attendees to have a voice and to allow that interaction in the meeting. And sometimes during the meeting, there are a few things that can happen that will get things off track. One, for example, is more than one person is talking at the same time. Another person goes off on a tangent. There might be a time where the group decides to take on something that is not on the original agenda. And what you could do as a facilitator to get them back on track is to remind everybody about the norms that you set up at the beginning of the meeting and get back onto the timeline so that your meeting can end on time and be respectful of everybody's time. So at the end of the meeting, you will want to review any issues that were set aside during your meeting, and this is something that I would refer to as a parking lot. You can refer to it as an issues list if you'd like, and make agreements with the group about when those issues will be discussed, and integrate them into any action item list that you will create from your meeting. And then always review and check in with the group for consensus on all the agreements and action items that you are putting in place. And then you can also have maybe a 2-minute debriefing process of the meeting and ask everybody how they felt about the meeting, what worked well, what didn't work well, and what they would like to improve on in the next meeting. And also remind everybody of the next meeting time and place, and also provide the group with contact information on who to call if they have any questions outside of the meeting. And then end on time. We always want to respect everybody's timeline and thank everybody for their time and commitment to 9Health Fair. So following this video, you will actually be able to click on a link that will take you to some sample documents, such as a sample PowerPoint presentation, a sample agenda, and then also a checklist on how to conduct a meeting. And also don't forget that 9Health Fair provides a great tool within the resource guide and on the resource list on the website, which will have links to everything you need to know about planning your 9Health Fair and all the documents and checklists that you might need and can use. So thank you so much. Have a great 9Health Fair.